Well, it looks like we have some people here. So this is Beth Cruz. She is one of my many friends on Substack, and I would love for you just to kinda introduce yourself, if you're comfortable with that.
Yeah, hi. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Beth Cruz. I gave myself the title years and years ago, the Possibilitarian's Light, because, being a possibilitarian is the belief that all things are possible. And I established that because I had to believe that, in order to get through that, okay, I can do this. Um, I began writing on Substack a year ago, February, and I came at a time where I was just done. I done with the patriarchy, done with being abused at work, and I I literally handed my keys over New Year's Eve day to the owner's son and said, "Good luck." And he was like, "Whoa, whoa, wait, 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 come back. You're just kidding, right? We'll see you Monday, right?" No, no. No. Give these to your dad. And then I realized, wow, I just bought a house 3 months ago, a new home, and went, it was it was literally our forever home. This was the
Mm.
home we wanted to, be carted out, be carted out
Yeah,
of. And so we said, You know what? Maybe this isn't where I was supposed to be." And it went through that whole, all right, what do I do? I'm not going back to work. I'm at a stage in my life where I had filed disability, a lot of pain, and just said, all right, well, what now? And I just decided to put myself out there on Substack and share. And it spiraled into something so beautiful. And it has been life changing. The people that I came in contact with have changed my life for the better, for sure.
that's incredible, and, like, that's such an inspiring story too because I think the easiest thing to do is to stick with what you know, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's extremely painful. It's easier to clutch that like handful of broken glass than it is to let it go and to clean it out and heal it and move forward. And yeah, I have so much admiration for you and your choices to just take the big leap because it's not an easy thing to do, but it's kind of the only way. At
Well,
least that's
yeah,
for me, that's
yeah.
what I found too.
It was literally the tower card. It was the
Mm,
complete shakeup. It was Hecate. It was everything just
yeah.
being brought down to scorched earth and building. Our house closes, and within the next 2 weeks. There was 0 equity in our house, really. And we moved into an apartment, which I haven't been in an apartment since I was probably in my 20s, early 20s,
Mm,
and I was afraid. I was afraid of that, and, I love it. I love it.
yeah,
So that's, yeah, there's been great things. So even so I'm completely rebuilding life. It's good. I'm
that's
probably
wonderful.
the happiest I've been, so.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, and you'd never know if you didn't try, and, like, there's always something to be gleaned from new experiences, so I am a huge advocate
Yeah.
of just do the thing,
Mhm.
try it out.
Yeah, do the thing.
Um, there's nothing to lose really. Stagnation is way worse than jumping into something and failing miserably, because at least you're
Mhm.
getting some level of learning through it,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
awesome. I also feel very passionately about just this platform and being over here. I think that it's a fantastic place for communities to be built and for you to have genuine connection and relationships grow. Um, I came over from TikTok originally, and and that's a
Yeah.
very strange, different place. I appreciate just having a platform over there, but as far as, like I said, building any level of true genuine connection, it's not a good place for that. Not to mention there's a lot of just exploitation of creators. And so being over here and like
Mhm.
meeting really incredible people, writers, artists, and just individuals who want to uplift others, in what they're creating is so fabulous. I've really enjoyed this space, and I know you're familiar with Grey Galaxy,
Oh,
as well,
yes.
and she's my best friend, and she's actually the one who pulled me over here and was like, "You have to be here. It's way better." And I'm
She's
so grateful.
amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, she's
Mhm,
a really, really awesome human and, also a part of the chronically ill community and just fighting through it each and
mhm,
every day. And I think just the warrior spirit within people who are dealing with chronic illnesses is
mhm.
so underrated. Like, it's not, you have no idea the struggle of
No.
existing day to day, moment to moment, when your body is falling apart
Mhm.
constantly and continuing to choose to get up and be a nice person. So, thank you for being here and choosing that for yourself today because I know it wasn't easy and some days aren't
No.
as difficult, but still you are here and you're choosing to share your beautiful light with the world and we need it. We need it so desperately right now. Something I've loved so much that you started sharing is all your rock art. I think it's such a simple, beautiful thing that anyone can feel connected to and instantly grounded through, like just this beacon of light and simplicity. And I do see it as a form of magic. So thank you for
Yes.
creating those. What started that?
I it was I don't know how this really happened. I saw this on Pinterest, and I was seeing about kindness rocks, and I was like, "I love this. I love this idea of just painting something and leaving it for somebody to find." I love that idea, just a gift from a to do that. I had all the things. My daughter had left acrylics, at my house years ago, and mom, just hang on to them. And I had canvas too. I had canvas. And I had pins and everything I needed. The only thing I didn't have was the rocks. And so I started out by getting just a 6 pack of rocks, and I'm just gonna paint a few of these rocks and leave out, and that was it. It was just I loved it. I wanted to keep going and keep making and creating, and pretty soon I was like, "Well, that's really cute," I think I was, a hope, oh,
Oh,
but I thought, "Oh, well, let's go further," and pretty soon I was just creating
so cool. Yeah.
all sorts of things, so I'm like, "Alright, I don't know where this came from, but here's a fun fact." The same time this started, I had been diagnosed with ADHD as an
Mhm.
adult at almost 58 years old. Knew it was possible,
Yeah.
but I didn't I know it sounds strange, but I really didn't put it to that, and I was put on meds, and I'm like, "I'm a fucking artist." I mean,
Mhm. Yeah.
it's like, "I can paint, what is this?" So, I love it, and so, since you mentioned disability, I wanna do a shout out. It is Disability Pride Month, and that means we pride ourselves and get through each and every day that we can.
Mm.
And so I have made a Say No to Crip Crow.
Love
If you
that.
don't know what Crip Crow is, that is they're dismantling our rights. And so Crip Crow was named after Crip Camp, which is
Mm.
on Netflix. I highly recommend the watch. It is absolutely amazing. And so, yeah, so I took on the position, volunteer as the Western Regional Legal and Policy Coordinator for the Disability Community for Democracy. So,
Incredible. Yeah, that's so amazing.
so
Yeah,
go
and I
Warriors.
think warriors, yeah, and like I was mentioning before, so many people who, like, you wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even know what they're dealing with on the daily
it's
basis, If
it's
you just look at them, 'em, you're like,
until it
"Oh, they
hits
look
you, you
pretty
don't
put
know.
together."
Yeah, you have
Yeah,
no idea.
yeah.
There are days I'm using a walker
Mhm.
and had to go that route. There are days I'm fairly fine and mobile. It just all depends on what my body decides that day. So people don't really understand that. Well, you were fine. This is sudden. No, it's
Yeah.
not, yeah.
You're like, "I know, it's news to me why it's this way today."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yesterday I had a flare. This is kind of funny, but it hurt. I had a flare in my thumb and I
Mhm.
couldn't grab anything and I was
Oh,
struggling to finish Seamus for a
yeah.
friend.
Oh,
And
yeah.
yeah, Seamus is going to Ireland.
Oh, that's
Um,
awesome.
Seamus, if you may know him as Slave to the Stitch,
Mm.
and he's a beautiful creator, and he sent a little version of him off to somebody on a boat. So he's been in Fiji, he's been all
Oh,
over,
wow.
and I this is my gift to him.
I love that. See, it's such a simple thing, but, like, the amount of people you can touch through creating rock
Spreading
art is
joy.
incredible. Do you put them places or give them
I
to
love the
people? Like, is
joy.
that a normal
Mhm.
thing?
These are getting ready. I was supposed to get these out weeks ago, but then I ended up getting sick and I was in the hospital with
Oh,
diverticulitis and mild pancreatitis. So I was in hell for a little bit.
sorry.
And so now they're going to be epoxied. There are so many that are going to go out into the community. I am in Washington State, in a mid-sized town in near Tacoma. So
Mm,
I'm just south of Seattle, and I love the fact that I did kind of a test thing, but I didn't hide it. This is so ridiculous. We put it on the sidewalk hoping, I was hoping this elderly gentleman would pick it up because I see him
yeah.
walking every day. So I would ask my husband to, "Can you run down and put this on in front of him? He's walking."
Mhm.
And he walked by, he just kind of looked down and he kept going, and I was like, "Oh, he goes around 3 times." So, he looked down for a few minutes again, and he kept walking, and so we left it there for days, and I was sitting here painting, and I saw a elderly couple walk up, and I saw her pick up the rock, and I saw her reaction, and she stood there I could see she would must have been explaining to
Oh,
her husband what it meant. And I couldn't contain myself. I went out there and I said, "You found it." She was
oh,
so happy. She had always wanted to find a rock, lives here in my community, and I just loved it. So I got to see the first reaction.
oh, that's the best. I feel like you could create a whole series of articles about just leaving rocks places and observing what happens.
Yeah, just loving the happiness and joy. It's such a dark time,
Mm,
I think it's amazing. And after I had gathered my stuff to paint, um, my husband took the dogs out. He walked to a park he hadn't been to. We hadn't been here that long, and when he went out, he came back. I'm sitting here gathering up my stuff. He had found a rock, and it was just out of the blue, and I hung on to that particular rock
oh,
because it was so meaningful to me that I felt like
mm,
it was for me. It said, "Allow yourself to shine." And
huh,
on the back of it, it had the moon, and the moon said to me, "You do not need to be whole in order to shine." And so
that's amazing.
I was like, "I'm keeping this as a reminder, and I know how much joy this brought me." So I got started right away.
That's amazing. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that phrase before, but that's really a profound one to think about. Just you don't need to start later, start now.
I think it is a quote, and I'm trying to remember what from, um, but I thought it was beautiful.
That's so
So,
beautiful. Yeah, I love things like that, the little bits of magic, and the more that we
yes,
observe it, the more that we interact, the more we'll see it and create it in our reality, in our neighborhoods, and I love the idea of just doing little simple acts like that,
yeah,
people can share around, maybe it's for them today or for this year, and then they can pass it along to somebody
yes.
else. It's
Mhm.
similar to how, some of us just carry crystals in our purse and, feel drawn to give them to this person or that person. And it's so interesting how it just, like, lights people's
Very
faces
much
up. They're just like, "Really? For me?
mhm,
Like, this is how why?" Because
right?
it's okay to do nice things for other people.
I wanted to make sure I made a big one, a bigger one. So in comparison, I mean, if you hand
Yeah.
size, I made
Yeah.
this one this last week, which I felt was so important. And on the back, I put the suicide um,
Mhm.
crisis lifeline number. And through every dark night, there is a brighter day. And included the semicolon as a reminder because I've been there of that
Yeah.
thought and feeling like, you just can't keep going. Not one more
Mhm.
day of pain. And I wanted somebody to see this and say, yeah, you can keep going. Get through
Yeah.
this dark night, which is what we're doing in our country right now. It's a long, dark night.
It sure is. Yep, absolutely. I feel that on a very personal level too. It's
Mhm.
like I said, day to day. And sometimes you really do just need to survive and get
Yeah.
through and know that there's going to be something better on the other side. And I think just the connection between the physical and the mental is so strong and profound, and how quickly one can spiral out of control and create issues for the other as well. And vice versa, and then also, like, just in a positive way, it can also go that way as well.
Mhm.
But more often than not, I, have found myself struggling with the just, like, keeping my mind in the right space, especially lately, and making sure that
Yeah.
I'm showing up in the ways that I need to for my family, but
Mhm.
also for myself as an individual, because I can't do very much for others if I'm not filling my cup, if I'm not taking care of me
Yeah.
first. So, yeah, that's a huge reason why I share too, is I just want people to know that it doesn't take much. It's simple magic, little things that you do repetitively that can shift how you experience your day.
Mhm.
And you are so much more than anyone has told you. And, like, we are here for a reason. If you think you aren't here for a reason and you need to give up and not be here anymore, I get it, but also I want to remind you that you are, and we need your light.
Yes.
We need you here right now.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
and even if it's just you breathing, the fact that you are breathing here, you are moving energy for this planet. You are moving energy for this collective, and that is something profound. That you continue to choose it.
Mhm.
So, as a message of encouragement for everyone, if all you do today is breathe and make it through, you are doing something very important. Thank you. Thank you. And also to
Go
you,
you.
Beth, thank you for showing up this morning and having this chat with me because, I mean, it's kinda early for you. It's about 11:20 over here, but over on the West Coast, it's like 8.
Yeah, my I have this incredible alarm clock that jumps up on me. He's 80 pounds, shepherd. So
Okay,
I don't have
yep.
a choice most days. And a little 6-pound chihuahua that follows his lead. Oh, yeah.
Aw,
I'm glad to be
that's
here.
I get it. We have a dog who is, well, we have 2 dogs. They're both very big Newfie mixes, and the girl, she's 13, and, she has to go out more frequently now and tends to get us up pretty early in the morning. And so she's one of the alarm clocks, but then we also have 4 cats. And so if we're not up by a certain
Mhm.
time, then one of them is batting at our face and meowing and say, "Hey, what about our breakfast? Like, this is past our regular scheduled
Yeah.
program. Come on, get with it." And so, there are benefits and setbacks, but having them in my life is way, way better than sleeping in. So I
Yeah.
appreciate them for
Mhm.
all that they do. Also, I just feel like energetically what they do for our bodies, as individuals who are struggling physically, is so much. I don't know if your dogs lay next to you or with you, but I
Yeah.
find my cats are always laying on me, near me, doing their little purr magic.
I have, I got a really cute basket years ago for decor.
Mm.
that never made it to decor because my chihuahua loved the beautiful blanket that was just supposed to be looked at, and maybe if you're cold, grab it for guests, but it is now his little underneath my desk delight. So he's under there,
Aw,
and then my big boy is usually in here with me, but I think he's lost right now.
I
Yeah.
hear you. Yeah, I have one over here on the ground, and she is breathing a lot. And then then my big boy, he's like 180 pounds. He's on the other side of me in the kitchen.
Oh my god. I thought the 80 was enough. So,
Yeah, they're like bear
wow.
size.
Oh, it's me. Wow. Excited.
Yeah, it's pretty cute. Our 3.5-year-old, she likes to lay on top of them because they're like a big dog bed essentially. And for the most part, they're totally fine with it. But she just loves it. I can tell it really helps ground her when she's feeling dysregulated. Uh-oh. It looks like maybe Beth is having some connection stuff going on. Ooh, here we go.
Oh, what happened?
I have no idea.
That
Welcome
was
back.
bizarre.
Well,
Am I on? It it
you are
queried me
on. I hear
Mercury.
you. Someone said Mercury. I would
Don't close
agree.
this.
Thank you, Kimber. It's definitely Mercury.
I
That's true. Purring has been proven to heal. I agree, Jason. It's pretty amazing what our little fur babies will do for us willingly, and, like, that they are so self-sacrificing in that regard. Uh-oh, I don't know if she's having issues again with her connection. This is definitely Mercury in retrograde. Wow. Well, thank you guys for showing up this morning. What are you drinking? I have some matcha this morning that I put some collagen in and a splash of milk, some maple syrup, just a little pick me up. I actually, maybe this is also Mercury in retrograde. I accidentally poured my coffee beans into the container that I had my matcha in. Um, and you can't really separate those once you've done that. So unfortunately, yeah, my coffee beans are now matcha beans, and some people are really a fan of the whole matcha and coffee combination. I am not one of those people. So I've been surviving those beans. Um, but hold on, let's see if we can. Hi Beth, are you able to get back in? Let me send you an invite. I don't know what's going on this morning. I've had issues with my internet, so I'm wondering. I don't know. I hope it's not mine as well. Can you guys hear me okay? I sent another invite to Beth, so we'll see if we can get her back on. That was Luna, my girl pup. But how are your guys' weeks going? It's middle of the week.
Beth.
We've arrived. Well, actually, we're past middle of the week. Today is Thursday. I'm trying to remember that. I'm so tired. I don't know what it is. Welcome back, Beth.
Well, that was the little break. Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Always
This is weird. I mean, it's okay. Don't worry about it.
so
We'll
weird.
figure it out.
Is mine cut seems to cut out when I go live, which is really suspicious to me. I don't know. It just seems awfully strange that my connection becomes a little weird. So,
It does, doesn't it? It's
mhm,
almost like somebody's trying to suppress your voice. Well, we'll
I
keep
know.
you on here. That's awesome.
I love it.
Well, what would you say has been like the most profound experience you've had on Substack so far? Like, is there anything that was just like, wow, I that was life changing for me?
I think honestly, meeting Nick Parrow was my life-changing moment. I was asked to come on, to talk about chronic illness, and, um, it I never left. So,
Yeah,
it has changed my life. I am part of a group that lifts me up so much and says, "You can," even when I don't think I can. Doc staff, Courtney, is part of our lovely group. So my co-host Oso, we are all just become really good friends who give so much love to each other. So I think that's where I realized I can because I had the
yeah,
support.
yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And I have also found I guess having more of a purpose or a way to funnel some of those challenging parts of existing here in this body, feeling like I'm helping somebody else through it,
Mhm.
is really helpful for me personally as far as like who I am as a person. And I wonder, is that your experience too, where it's just like I can funnel this energy even though I'm in pain, I'm struggling. Like I know
Yeah.
other people are too, and I can help create solutions for them or give them
Mhm.
hope and kind of like help them dissipate some of the anxiousness or just feeling alone in it.
Yeah, I think for me, I had always been the one that people came to.
Mm,
And so it was like, I had a call from somebody that I'd went to school with. She had messaged me on Facebook, "Can I talk to you?" And I hadn't spoken to her in, like, forever.
yeah.
Wait, like, I don't know, middle school, high school, I don't know. And she was going through a lot of difficulty in her life, and she said, "I had to talk to you. You're the strongest person I know." And
Oh,
I felt that if you only knew, inside I was falling apart. I could
yeah.
help somebody navigate their path, their life, and give help them with tools, but I couldn't take my own advice. I didn't know how to manage my own life. So, it was hard to be seen that way because I felt like imposter. I wasn't
Yeah.
the strong person that people thought that I was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Well, and I mean, you absolutely are a very
Yeah.
strong person. And that's how you're able to
Yeah.
mask so
Yeah.
well the fact that you
Mhm.
have so much going on internally. And like I do understand that as well, just being somebody that others want to come to as like
Mm.
a rock, somebody to come back
Yeah.
to that they're like, I know you have solutions, or at least you'll listen and I will feel safe. And that is such an honor, but it's also a huge burden, especially when you don't feel like you have that for yourself. Um, and
Mhm.
I mean, I know that we're pretty new to talking like this,
Yeah.
but I
Yes,
also
yes.
want to just put it out there that if you ever need somebody to talk to, I'm here and it's not a burden for me. I really like being in
Hey.
that position for people. And
Mhm.
there's a beautiful thing called engaged attachment that once you learn it, it's really beneficial. It's not that you're, completely removed from the fact that somebody has feelings, but just the ability to listen without having it come into your own body. And that was a
Yeah,
hard
yeah.
lesson for me to learn. Have you had that experience too?
Yeah. Yes. Mhm. I think as far as boundaries, I was like I mentioned to Shayla, I could not set them for the people I loved. I had no problem with setting them with strangers for the most part, I think, but I think that was a struggle too. But now I've reached this space where I do feel stronger. I am getting confidence back. I feel like I'm spreading joy, which was so important to me to
Mm,
to give back. And, gosh, where am I going with this? Fibro
that's
talk.
okay. Don't worry about it. You're doing great.
But but it's like, um, I think I have grown so much, and I'm able to do that. But yes, I experience.
Yeah. Yeah. The boundaries thing, it's a big one. And I think, especially with people that you care about and love, knowing that, for me at least, the lesson
Mhm.
was I am not loving somebody if I continue to participate in the games that they're playing with themselves and others that are harming others. I am not loving them by staying around and not setting that boundary and creating that space
Mhm.
because I'm not allowing them to have the space to grow, to change. So that was a pretty important one for me to learn, and I've had to do with family, friends, time and time again. But the amount of peace that comes from realizing you're not a bad person for doing those things. You're actually a really great one.
Right.
And that it is love.
Mhm.
That's real love. Yeah, that it's man, relationships are difficult.
Yeah, I
Oh,
have to set a huge one. I've been married for almost 30 years. It will be, New Year's Eve,
oh
and
wow.
yeah, it's been a long time. We've been together, like, 32, and I said, "Enough,"
Mm,
I said, "Enough." Gaslighting, lies. It's not that he's a bad person,
mhm.
he just hasn't discovered what to do with his own self yet, and so we are living together separately, and so I have set that boundary that I am not gonna go, you know, through it until you decide to grow because I'm growing.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I'm past that just going through the motions and just, well, it's okay, no, it's not.
No. No, it's not. You deserve to have somebody who's showing up for you, and yeah, it's really sorry if I cut you off, I was not trying to, it just cut
No.
out, and I couldn't tell if you were still speaking or not.
Sorry.
Oh, oh, but yeah, it's hard in relationships, I mean, I've been with my husband now for let's see here, it's gonna be in August, 16 years? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, we will have been married no, 17 years. No, well, that's right, we started dating in September. So, 17 years together
Mm,
and 15 years married in August, which is kind of crazy to think about, but like, we've been through a lot of life, and there have been times when, one of us or the other was not willing to grow or change or do anything, and one of us was very much trying to do that. And when you're the person who's pushing to go move forward, transform, and somebody else just feels like dead weight, it's exhausting, and it can definitely feel like, I need to make a change here. I need to do what's right for me, whether it's separate or something else, whatever resolution you need to come to, but to know that, like, that's okay. You're allowed to do that,
yeah.
and it's important
Mhm.
that people are willing to match your energy, especially
Yeah.
when you're on a journey like that. It's interesting as you are healing how people kind of seemingly change, but really you're the one changing
Yeah.
and they're kind of falling behind. And that's a natural shedding effect as you choose to heal. Um,
Mhm.
and not an easy one or one that's discussed enough, I think, is how you lose people as you're healing.
You do. You lose friends, you know? It is hard, but I you just keep going. I had to choose me at 57. I hadn't chosen me before. And so I have taken these steps to say, this is what I'm not doing. This is what I'm willing to do. And that wasn't easy. I've always been I'm a Libra, balance, I'm the
Yeah.
fixer. So I don't like things just not even.
Yeah.
And but you just come to a place of I need to do what's best for me and my physical health, my mental health. And we're great at living together.
Yeah.
So, and again, we had a house together, we have everything still together, but and I plan on divorcing. So
Yeah.
that's where that's what I need to do to move forward in my life.
Yeah. Absolutely. And being willing to do it in more of a gentle progression
Yes,
is probably really nice.
it is.
And without the animosity also
We're good.
'cause,
he doesn't want to. He does not want a
Yeah.
divorce. Um, so it's very hard for him. He's kind of a loner himself. So, I have compassion and empathy and it's like, okay, well, we're just going to move through this process slowly and that's all we can do. I think when it becomes toxic to one or both, then you have to make a change.
Yeah, you do. Yep, absolutely. And that change is always gonna be unique to
Yeah.
whoever's in that relationship, which,
Yeah.
I mean, I admire that you are doing it in the way that you are, 'cause I think, instead of having it be, "Well, we're just completely separate now, immediately,"
Right.
that's so like, the weight, the burden of doing that is immense, and watching other people go through that, but, like, also in a tumultuous, not, positive way, 'cause Ali's
Mhm.
parents, like, they divorced after 30 years of marriage,
Mm.
and I wouldn't say they ever were a good pair. There was lots of problems within their relationship, and it was just so painful for everyone in that experience
Mhm.
where it was very much just a you against me constantly. So the fact that you're able to do it in a positive way is amazing. I'm glad that you are able to do that for
Yeah.
yourself.
Well, I think too watching, I was married prior
Mm,
and divorced. I had 3 children with my first husband. I met my first husband when I was 15. We married at 18, had our first daughter at 19. Just that's what you did. I was
yeah,
from Michigan. You at that time, you got out of school, you got married, and
mhm,
that's what you did. And, he was Catholic. I turned Catholic. For a while.
yeah,
For for a while, and, gosh, we were married probably 7 years, 7 and a half when it went south, or started to go south, and then it was not almost 10 years before because we separated, I think, at 8.5 years, and then it was a year and a half, long, dragged out, brutal divorce. It was ugly, he was cruel, um and it really scarred me, and so I don't never wanna go through it like that again. I watched my parents this is kind of a it's not funny, but it's funny.
yeah,
My parents had an awful divorce, my adoptive parents. We saw it played out, and when they were dividing up things and they had separated, my mom called me up and she said, "Well, I know you just got married. I have this TV. I can't get it to work. I don't think it's anything big, big console TV,
yeah.
the big TVs." And so we're like, "Oh my gosh, yes, we'll take it." And so we took it to a repair shop and we got called up and he said, "This is missing parts." My dad was so pissed. He had crawled through the window, he was mad he wasn't getting the big console TV, and he removed parts from I'm like, I think this you can do better. I think this can be done better."
Yes, that's definitely comical. I mean, that's my type of humor
Yeah.
too.
Took the parts out of the
Oh,
television.
oh my gosh, all over a television.
Yeah,
It's interesting,
yeah,
how connected people become emotionally to stuff and, like, just wanting to one up each other
yeah,
when they're in distress because they're so opposed to just, like, working on themselves.
yeah, yeah, and it was just like I decided I did not want to go down that path of just bitterness and hatred, and, I don't I love my husband dearly.
Yeah,
I don't like the behavior, and I'm
mhm,
just not willing to accept it anymore, and I think that comes when you start valuing yourself and finding value and respecting your own boundaries, saying, "No, this isn't okay."
yeah, absolutely, and I think it's really important too remember that there are lots of great people out there who do so many things right, right?
Yeah,
Like, they can
yeah.
be fantastic in so many ways, but if there are key things that are essential to you, very important for you in your life, and
Mhm.
they continue to dismiss it, continue to not listen or try or change, um, that's enough of a reason.
I think lying lying when you've been lied to at little things, it's not even big things.
The trust thing is huge.
There's so
Yeah.
I've and that's an issue. It's like,
Mhm.
okay. He's, "Oh, but I'm working, I'm trying hard," which is also a lie. So
Yeah.
it's like it's just no, it's
Yeah.
okay. I feel good about where I'm at
Yeah.
and feel good that feeling strong enough to say I'm worthy of something better.
Absolutely. And I think, for some people, it is kind of their truth. It's what they believe at this point because they've been
Yeah.
telling themselves for so long that it is their reality.
Mhm.
Instead of actually like doing the work to make it their reality, it's all words.
Yeah.
And that's pretty empty. I'm a Capricorn, so I'm all about like words are great. Show me.
Mhm. Yeah.
Show me with your actions, because if you're not willing to actually like do the thing, I don't care what you say. Words are pretty.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, it's man, relationships are hard.
They are so hard. It's
They're
so
so
hard.
hard. And especially right now, knowing all the stuff that's going on and has been going on as far as, with the rape academies and everything else, going on with children's safety and how dismissive a lot of groups are being about all of it. And I know that
Mhm.
you have your own traumas from childhood,
Yeah.
as do I,
Mhm.
unfortunately. And just realizing that all of these little kids are now adults, or a lot of them are, and they are still living with the repercussions of maybe it was one incident, maybe it was many, but
Mhm.
still living with the repercussions of it. And just the fact that it's not being acknowledged as truth isn't so incredibly damaging
It is so damaging.
because it's one of the most important things you can do for somebody who's a survivor is to acknowledge their story and to not be dismissive and to hold it as truth. Because like that is, even though it's not going to fix the problem, it allows them to be fully seen. And that's really,
Mhm.
really important. Um, but it's so sickening to think that like there's still people making excuses for it.
I can't believe this is where we're at. I mean, I really just can't believe it because in my experience, I never reported it.
Mhm.
I never said a word.
Yep.
I would be in trouble.
Mhm.
I shouldn't have been taking a walk with a boy, you
Mhm.
know? So I was so scared of my parents that there was no way I was ever gonna say that happened. Um, then when I was 17, it was or almost 17, there was just no hiding it.
Mhm.
Um, I don't have a memory of it, just the after
Mhm.
effects, and seeing my clothes that were covered in mud and blood and just horrifying. And going through, to share with people, I'm just gonna, if you're triggered, tune out of this, but when you go through the process of someone using a rape test kit on you, it is like being raped again. It is so invasive. It is they literally comb your pubic hair. It is such an awful process. And then to go through that and be told, "Well, that's what happens when you hang out with the boys." It was always my fault, and I carried that "my fault." And I think that those instances made me think, "Well, that's that's okay. They're men. That's what they do."
It's their
I think there was
instinct. Yeah.
I think that was when I was very young, that was just
Mm.
like, "Wow, this is it." Um, and then you have children on your own, and there's no way you're gonna, Did I cut out? Did
Yeah.
I cut out? I think I cut out. But when you have children not of your own, that's a whole different thing. You're gonna no, I'm a mama bear.
Oh, for sure.
There was like, I did not want that to happen to my kid.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the things we'd do for our kids. There's
Mhm.
nothing I wouldn't do for my daughter,
Yeah.
but it is terrifying to have a daughter right now in this world.
My kids are 30 to 38 now.
Mm.
I cannot imagine having a child right now. Mm-mm. It
Yeah,
it is scary. And even though I'm in Washington State, we're fortunate now, but that doesn't mean that's not gonna change, you
yeah,
know? I It'd be a hard one, but still.
yeah. I mean, there's so I'm in Tennessee, but I'm from the Pacific Northwest.
Mhm.
I'm from Oregon, specifically, mostly the Willamette Valley, and,
Nice.
I mean, it's just such a stark difference, and I mean, I've had my entire, basically, experience of being a mom has been here, because 'cause we've
Mhm.
been here since she was 6 months old, and watching how comfortable people are with trying to touch your child, um, how frequently people will just, like, complete strangers, very creepily just be like, "Oh, wow, your daughter's really pretty. I really like her blonde hair and her blue eyes." And,
Ugh.
yeah, one time we were in the grocery store, actually Trader Joe's, and we were walking around, and at this point, she was still young enough, we had her in, like, a carrier, and, she was on my husband, and he was walking in front of me, and this old guy just, like, reaches out and grabs her foot. Yeah, like, sneakily too. Like, he kinda did it from the side, and you could see he, like, tried to look to see if my husband was paying attention, and then he, like, grabbed her little foot, and I yelled at him, and then Ally yelled at him in the store, like, everyone stopped and was looking, and, of course, no one did anything. They
Mm.
didn't try and support, back up, whatever. They were just like, "Oh, who's this bad man," right? Yelling at this old man. And, like, that
Mhm.
seems to be kind of just the theme of, like, anyone who disrupts, anyone who tries to call something out, instead of having camaraderie around the person who's
Mhm.
doing trying to do the necessary thing, it's always you're disrupting the peace and tranquility of the disgusting world we live in. Like, we don't want your voice to be loud, we want you to be silent about these things. If we don't think about it, if we don't talk about it, it doesn't exist. Um, but it does, and
It does.
unfortunately, these types of events, obviously can be much worse, and that's a huge reason why
Yeah.
my husband and I have chosen to never have anyone else watch her. She is not alone with other people, whether it's, family or anything, like, we try to just be close and around because both of us are survivors of, childhood SA and at the hands of people who we knew quite well. So it's not a choice at this point in my mind. Oh man, I hope she comes back. Hold on. Let me see if I can send her. Well, as soon as she pops back in the chat, I'll try and re-add her. But yeah, it's not really a choice at this point to do all you can to keep your kids away from those who may be a problem, at least for as long as you possibly can. Because right now, I mean, she's able to say whatever she needs to say. She has all of her words. She has a intense vocabulary, quite honestly. And she is not afraid to say things and speak her own mind. Oh,
I am
welcome
here.
back.
Oh, oh my goodness. I was
Yeah.
like, "What happened?"
But
You
it's
were
it's hard
saying
when, so for I don't know where we were at, but
you were
I
saying that you're the only one that watch your daughter.
yes. Yeah. So she's never had a night away from us. She's never had a day away, an hour away, like she only knows us. And while we've had family and stuff come to visit or friends around, we're around too. And it's just what I feel most comfortable with. It's what he
Mhm.
feels most comfortable with. And from our childhood experiences, it's just far too easy for things to happen or for grooming behaviors to happen because you may not think of it in this way, but sometimes sitting on somebody's lap is just a part of a process, right? And it definitely was a part of a process for me when I was a kid, um, getting further and further down that road and until it is something that you suddenly don't have a choice in, it seems, and you also feel like it's all your fault. But teaching her right now, like, these are your body parts. These are yours. Nobody should be touching these parts of your body, um, without your consent, and most definitely not at all right now. And and there's nothing wrong with your body parts. It's just, uh-oh,
I lost sound.
weird. Hello? This is bizarre. Um, hmm. You wanna try weird. Alright, I'm gonna see if she wants to try dropping out and coming back and see if that will fix it. This is getting quite the thing today. But yeah, for my daughter, just knowing that she is aware of her body parts, she's aware of what is okay and what isn't okay, what's safe touch, what isn't safe touch. Not about like, oh, this is a safe person or these are safe people, because the reality is you cannot determine that for her. She needs to determine that for herself, and she needs to understand what behaviors are safe behaviors. What makes somebody a safe person? And what behaviors are problematic ones. And so, one of the things that I like to talk with people about as far as safe behaviors that a safe adult would do or wouldn't do is they are not going to ask you to keep secrets, even if it's just in a joking way or a silly way. They are not going to ask you to keep a secret or talk about having secrets. Um, we always tell her it's okay to have surprises and to create a surprise for somebody, but it's not okay to keep secrets. And if anyone ever tells you to keep a secret from mom and dad, tell us right away. And she knows she can tell us anything, and she's never going to be in trouble. And we will always back her up. Um, there was actually an incident not too long ago. My husband went to this kids program, whatever you wanna call it. There's an organization that has, like, kids programs that, teach people leadership skills and gymnastics and other things like that, and it's a really great premise, but, anyways, he was there with her, and they were moving through this obstacle course, and she was getting impatient, so she was kinda pushing this boy along, and so then my husband was telling her that, we don't push people, you need to wait your turn. And then this elderly lady was with her grandson, the boy that she had pushed, and then she put her hands on Aurora. And my husband said, "Do not touch my kid." And he said it over and over again as she continued to try. And then she said, "We'll see." That was her response, and he continued to say it over and over again, and similar to the store situation, nobody stepped in that was, like, a teacher there and said, "Yeah, we don't touch other people's kids. It's unacceptable. You are not gonna touch somebody's kid," or call her out or have a discussion with her, but they did have one with him, and they later on called him and were, like, reviewing the tapes and said, "Oh, hey, you're right, like, we should have intervened there, there was a problem, and that's not behavior we want to ever tolerate in our space," but, of course, they didn't, actually have a conversation with this lady around it, and my daughter doesn't wanna go back ever, because she feels uncomfortable, and she will never have to go back because we do not force our kids to, keep doing things they don't wanna do, even though we signed her up for it. Um, People do need to be called out. Beth, can we invite you back in? Let's try. Let's try. We can do it. Yay, Beth.
I'm on
Okay,
my phone now.
maybe this will work.
Yes.
We're on my phone too, so maybe it's just a we need to be on phones. I have a fly.
Mhm.
But
There we
yeah,
go.
it's just the it there's a weird over here, there's a weird entitlement to other people's kids in the community, especially within the older generations. It's
In the
like
South?
yeah,
Mhm,
In
mhm.
the South,
Yes.
and I know this is, like, culturally something too, it's not just,
Mhm.
in the
But
South,
still
Southern United States, it's definitely a thing, but, like, I just wanna remind people that, like, if it's not your kid, you should not be touching them,
yes, I agree. I agree.
period. And
Mhm,
even if a kid is very comfortable with you and you're a complete stranger and they come up to you trying to, like, hold your hand or whatever, like, don't do it and figure out where their parents are, and it's probably because they've been taught to be okay with those types of behaviors from strangers, and
mhm.
unfortunately, like, it's likely they're gonna have some pretty traumatic stuff happen in their lives because they just weren't parented on that.
Yeah.
Um, so, yeah, I hate the fact that I have to think about all these things
But you
with
do.
my little girl, but I have to, especially here in the States, and,
Mhm.
as much as I would love to be someplace where this wasn't a problem, um, it is most places. I
It
mean,
is.
the dream would be to move to Ireland, and it's kind of where we are aiming to be someday, um, and it's supposed to be a safer place for women and children, but I think as I guess a broad generalization, I think most places in the world are not very safe for women and children, and it's because of this overarching entitlement, right?
Mhm,
Entitlement to our bodies, entitlement to our lives, like, as a resource
mhm.
that we aren't beings, we are resources, and
We are sexual resources,
yeah,
basically. Mhm.
yeah, and it makes me so angry because I know there are so many men out there who are actually good men, who want
There
to
are.
take down all the problems, who are actually doing stuff, but then there are so many, a large percentage that claim to be, right? That aren't doing anything. Not even like just calling out the guy who said something offhandedly. They won't even do that.
Mm,
And no, you are not a good guy. The
right.
least you could do right now is call people out. That's a bare minimum,
You
please.
have to call people out.
It's the bare minimum, and it's amazing 'cause at least from my experience of watching men together, it seems that even if somebody stands up just a little bit against whatever is being said, it's just enough to kind of give people alternative options, I guess you could say,
Mhm,
to
mhm,
where they might think about it. But if you don't say anything, it's just gonna continue to be a problem, and I think
mhm.
if men were to think of it this way, if I don't say something right now, that guy is going to be someone else's, trauma to deal with next, like it's
Mhm.
not an if, it's a when, and it will happen, and there's going to be something that a woman or a child are going to have to live with for the rest of their lives because you chose not to do anything. So yeah, it's a wonder that we are still still with some men in this world, right? That we haven't
It
chosen to just completely and totally be like, I'm done. I'm
it
done.
it's
But I know
it's
there are
hard
good
not
ones.
to. It's hard
Yeah,
not to. But
there are
but
good ones for sure.
I look and I go, there's some really nasty women out there too.
Oh, for
And
sure.
and so it's
Yeah.
like, of course, you know, they're I'm hoping they're not all involved in rape culture, but, because let's be honest, this whole raping your significant other and drugging them is
Mhm.
I I still can't even grasp how many million views this stuff had. I can't
Mhm.
even wrap myself around that. It's it really needs to be looked at of why are men so many men, I should say, not all men, but why are
Yeah.
so many men behaving in this way?
Yeah.
Is what are we teaching? our
Mhm.
boys.
Yeah,
It needs
absolutely.
something needs to be done for sure.
Yeah. Well, and also giving spaces where men can grow their emotional capacity,
Mhm.
deal with some of the traumas they have, deal with some of these programs, give them resources to where they can do the work, and not do it on their own because I think a lot of them won't. But if they have somebody to be their leader in a positive way, right?
Yeah.
Then I think there are quite a few that could come out of it deprogrammed, but, like, anyone who's willing to do those things, to watch those things, to pay for those things, like, you should all be in prison.
Is that even I mean, I
It's not enough.
I
It's not
never
enough.
feel
I
that
mean, we're
that's
paying for
fixable.
people to be in prison, but, like, the fact that that should be I don't even know what to say, right? It's so abhorrent and that it's so prevalent too.
I think that's the biggest
It's
thing
not like
is
a little tiny sliver, dark corner, right, of a
no,
few people.
we're waking up to find it's so many.
Mhm.
And it I'm sorry, I don't think this is just my opinion, I don't think that type of behavior can be fixed.
Yeah.
I do not I think if you're a predator like that, you're a predator.
Yeah.
You're missing something. You're
Mhm.
there is something wrong.
Yeah.
Big time. I just don't see that as a situation that can be fixed. And
Yeah.
so we keep them locked up for few years, let them out, and oh, surprise! They marry
Exactly.
somebody else.
Yep. I couldn't agree more. There's rehabilitation and then there's, they need to be completely isolated from all society for forever, bare minimum.
Mhm,
Um, but yeah, it's shocking to me. My husband actually works in trust and safety on the
mhm,
internet and helping get rid of, take down non-consensual intimate imagery of women and children and men too, absolutely. But it's it's pretty grotesque, horrifying the things that are out there that he's had to help
mhm,
with. Um, but I'm grateful that there are people doing it, and we just need to keep talking about it, keep it in the light, right? Don't allow it to be put back in the shadows.
mhm. I
Keep
agree.
having those who have survived situations like that, have a space where they can share and talk and connect and heal together. I think that's
Mhm.
really, really important.
I think it's very important. I think that it's so hard to talk about. It's a topic that most people just go or, it's uncomfortable, right?
Yeah,
When somebody says, "I was assaulted." Um, but we need to share our stories. We need to find out that there were so many women was both horrifying and men that were raped,
mhm,
but also a feeling of I'm not alone.
yeah,
There's others that have been through this and understand. We all need to continue to speak out and raise our voices to this, and people need to that see these things happening or see any type of abuse. You need to step forward and be
yeah,
that advocate for somebody who doesn't have a voice.
absolutely. Yep. And I feel like we could talk about this for hours.
I know, we
Honestly,
could.
it's such an important topic. Um, but yeah, is there anything that we should kind of leave people with? Because we're past our hour. I'm not surprised at all.
Just if I could leave anybody with something, it'd be just like it's really simple. Say a kind word,
Mm,
kind gesture, just spread kindness right now. That's what I would want to leave people with.
absolutely. Yeah. And hope is powerful magic.
It is.
Just remembering that, I wrote an article last year that was specifically titled something like that, and just remembering that sending just a little hope and brightness into the world, is so contagious right now. So don't forget that, and don't allow, I guess, the doom and gloom of what's going on in the world, make you feel paralyzed. Don't allow yourself to fall into that pit. because that's
Mhm,
exactly where they want you, where you can't move and do anything to help. So we need
mhm.
to hold on to that hope. We need to not allow ourselves to get too far sucked into that doom hole and to continue to work together, build community, grow, heal, support, because we will get through this and it probably won't be unscathed. Many of us have already been through quite a bit, but we will get through this together and yeah,
Do you do
spread some hope and joy and
do you
love.
see my little spell in the back?
Oh, I love that. That's awesome.
You know.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I actually did, make what was it? It was, like, a year ago, something like that. I made a little video of making a voodoo doll, um, and it had a nice red tie on it, and you know that trend where they were I don't know if you saw this, but they were saying, what was it? It was, like, "Just to take the edge off," or something like
Oh
that.
my gosh.
And so I was, like, pretending like my little needle was, because people would hold, like, a baguette sandwich or something and be like,
Yeah,
"Just to take the edge off," like they were smoking it, and then I, used it to do the thing. But, yeah, I mean,
love
little
it.
things like that can really help sometimes.
Even if it's your mindset.
Yeah, exactly. But I
Good
would
for
love to
today.
go live with you again. Maybe next time we'll come up with, like, a specific topic, but today I was just like, "We need to go live, we haven't done this before,"
I love it. It's a
and
great morning.
yeah, and I just wanted to connect with you, and I just think you're doing such amazing work, and, just wanna encourage you and spread the word to my community too. If you're not following Beth, please go follow Beth. She's wonderful,
Mhm.
and it's not hard to follow. You just click and you can do it so readily. She has I just love that one. That might be my favorite one, I don't know.
I love
I'm
that
just
one
so
too.
attached to crows. But I would just say, yeah, go follow her, and she is sharing so many beautiful rocks right now. It brightens my day. I'm like, "What rock is she gonna share today?"
I
So,
love it.
thank you. Yeah,
Thank you
and
so much.
yes, blessed be Jason, I agree. Blessed be to everybody, and let's just keep being rocks for each other, right?
Bloom
Yeah,
scroll, rock scroll, find the
that's right.
beauty.
Crow scroll, we need to create that.
Ooh, crow scroll. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'll
Okay,
do it.
we'll do it. Bye.
Bye.